We are very lucky to have Jenny here with us as she has a lifetime full of travel adventures to share and a lot of really interesting stories. So to give her a brief introduction, Jenny Anderson was born in India and has lived in the UK, Canada, Algeria, and Australia, and has been a travel agent for over 40 years. So she is going to share some of her stories of her travels in North America, so Canada and the USA today. And I hope you're all excited to hear what she has to say.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny Anderson, and I live in the beautiful Niagara region of Ontario, Canada. I would like to share a few of my travel experiences with you all, hopefully to inform as well as entertain you. India is the land of my birth. I moved to Canada 55 years ago. I'd like to share my experience when I visited Calcutta a few years ago, and memories of my childhood met me everywhere I went. It happened to be the monsoon season when the rains are constant and streets flood very fast. My friend and I were heading for a theater show, and taxis couldn't ply the flooded streets. The only transport was the rickshaw. The rickshaw puller made sure his price was negotiated before we got on it. Bargaining is a way of life in India. And so my friend, a local, bargained the price. The man stood firm on his fare and told us, if I don't take you, you will need a new pair of shoes, and that will cost you 60 rupees or more. So better to pay me the same thing. So we climbed on board, and the man pulled us along the flooded street with the water level halfway up the two wheels. A tarpaulin draped around us from the top of the rickshaw protected us from the rain. When he had safely and almost dryly deposited us at the door of the theater, we gladly paid the price, $2. The next day, I went to the hairdressing salon for a shampoo and set. Because of problems with the plumbing due to the rains, the young girl washed my hair, pouring water from a bucket. My bill was 50 rupees, and I gave her a tip of 15 rupees. That's about 50 cents and 30%. She looked shocked, but very pleased, and the other girls watching enviously murmured, "So lucky." Now, let's go back to where my love of travel first began. It was on our honeymoon when my husband Trevor and I traveled through the awesome snow-capped Rocky Mountains for the first time. We rode out on beautiful Lake Emerald in a small boat to routes. After a bit of rowing got us well away from the shore, my hubby decided he would turn around and face me in the boat. As he stood up, the boat capsized and we were floundering in the water, trying to hang on to some part of the boat, while my first concern was my purse that was floating away full of holiday money out of reach. Help came very fast, and we were soon rescued, complete with purse, and we dried out in a kind person's bait and tackle shop. Emerald Lake that you see on the left was pictured on the Canadian $2 note. I kept one as a souvenir for many years when they were taken out of circulation. On our silver wedding anniversary, our daughters, gave us a framed picture of Emerald Lake. It's been 50 years since that exciting day. On the right, you see the most beautiful Lake Louise. We used to do a family vacation every year. And I remember the first one was to Colorado, with its picturesque mountains, gorges, and rivers. We experienced the thrill of whitewater rafting in Class 6 rapids, pretty rough, on the Colorado River, rushing through deep gorges where the steep, rugged rock faces high above us on either side. In the town of Boulder, just north of Denver, evening brings out the buskers and street performers, much like the boardwalk in old Quebec City, where a street entertainer is set up to perform every few yards. A fire eater or a juggler or an acrobat. One of these performers on the street in Boulder was the zip code guy. He asks his audience to call out a zip code, and he promptly names the street and city to which it belongs. People try to stump him by calling out international zip codes, but he never hesitates. Rome, Nairobi, London, he knew them all. So Trevor and I thought we would throw him a curve. Trevor called out a Calcutta zip code, and he replied, "Namaste. Is it monsoon season in Calcutta now?" I gave him L2R 5M9, which is downtown in my city here. He said, "Is that bicycle repair shop still around the corner there in St. Catharines?" The Yukon and Northwest Territories, Canada's Great North, have so much to offer in breathtaking scenery and gold mining history. Dawson City saloons serve the outrageous drink called the sour toe. It takes courage for a newcomer to order one. It's an alcoholic drink that has a pickled human toe in it. Bottoms up, and then return the glass with the toe left in it, which is then used for the next brave drinker. In Alaska, the American Great North, lies Denali National Park, the largest national park in the world, home to grizzlies and black bears, wolves, caribou, moose. There lies a small town called Chicken. The story goes that it was overrun by the ptarmigan bird at one time, and the people wanted to call it Ptarmigan, Alaska. However, they had trouble spelling ptarmigan, so they named the town Chicken. The train ride through the mountain passes is a must, as the scenery is awesome. As the train approaches a certain point, the rails divide in two, and two trains may pass each other going in opposite directions. Our guide was out for fun and told all of us in our bogie to give the other train passengers the moose salute as they passed us. We got ready, and as soon as the other train came by, scores of fingers wiggled behind our ears like antlers with grinning faces. The first lot that passed us recoiled in shock, but they were really taken aback. But the bogie that followed it had been prepared by their guide, and we were given the moose salute by a sea of smiling Japanese faces. In Fairbanks, My dream of seeing the aurora borealis came true. The breathtaking northern lights dancing across the sky filled me with joy. Imagine floating in a steamy mineral hot spring and looking up at the midnight sky, watching the display of colorful curtains of luminous lights flash in waves. I have been a travel agent for 40 years. I was very excited to be on a travel agent familiarization cruise one year. It was on an expedition ship sailing from Quebec to the Arctic. My husband was working on a project in Montreal, and I was with him at the time. This was not going to be the usual fancy ocean liner, but an adventure with basic comforts. What thrilled me was the destination, so I overlooked the lack of fancy amenities. This is what we were looking forward to seeing and experiencing: Arctic wonders. You see the Arctic owl on the right, and the polar bear, and the ice floes. And there you have the Arctic hare. On day 3, we sailed into Kuujjuaq, an Inuit town in Nunavik, a population of 2,500. We had reached the Arctic. Transport by snowmobile, dock sled, small plane, or canoe was the only connection to other communities. Long days with 4 hours of darkness during the summer solstice and 4 hours of sunshine in the winter describes the seasons very well. My excitement to be experiencing this unique destination came to an end with a mighty jolt. The ship got stuck on a sandbar in the harbor, and we were stranded on a listing vessel. For 2 days, the captain tried to dislodge it and sail out at high tide, but it would not budge and became more embedded at low tide. While in that predicament, Zodiacs took us to shore, where we walked to the little town out in the countryside. A guide carrying a rifle accompanied us. The firearm was to protect us from danger, notably the wolves, which roamed wild. On the 3rd day, the decision was made to abandon ship. We were all flown back to Montreal, and my airport shuttle dropped me at the apartment at midnight. I crept into the bedroom as silently as I possibly could, so as not to awaken Trevor. At dawn, he stirred and turned towards me, still supposedly half asleep. He murmured, "Oh, Francine." We are very, very fortunate to be living in this part of the world, where we can experience such beautiful natural wonders and scenery. Even as we speak, the countryside is ablaze with fall colors. This is a scene 10 minutes from St. Catharines, driving along the Niagara Parkway. Here we have cottage country in Ontario, the Muskokas. And now back home to my favorite city. St. Catharines is known as the Garden City, and it's in the region of Niagara. All around us are orchards and vineyards. Montebello Park, with a gazebo and a bandstand, is the venue for festivals, Rib Fest, concerts, and the annual Grape and Wine Festival. A delightful rose garden blooms every summer. Montebello Park, interestingly enough, was designed by the eminent architect Frederick Law Olmsted, whose great achievements include New York's Central Park, Montreal's Mount Royal, and the grounds of the White House. A prestigious site in St. Catharines is Salem Chapel, which was founded in 1820 by African-American freedom seekers. It marks the end of the Underground Railway, which was neither underground nor a railway. It was a passage to freedom for slaves in the USA, and the most well-known conductor was Harriet Tubman. She made 19 trips over a period of 10 years and saved 300 captives. She had a home opposite the chapel and attended services there. From our living room window, we have a close and clear view of Salem Chapel. This is Burgoyne Bridge. It's seen as one approaches St. Catharines. We are an exciting 15 minutes away from the world-famous Niagara Falls. When we first moved here 40 years ago, we drove there every weekend, strolling past the Horseshoe Falls on the Canadian side. From here, one gets a magnificent panorama of the American Falls as well. It always feels very special to be up close to the majestic site and to be in the honeymoon capital of the world. We joined the tourists on the Maid of the Mist that sails close to the base of the falls. The plastic ponchos provide protection from the heavy spray from the falls. Visitors can take the tour and walk through the tunnels behind the falls and ride the aerocar and cable car that swings over the Whirlpool Gorge. Picnicking at Dufferin Islands, very close by, delighted our little girls as they joined other children playing in the water. Some Sundays were spent across the Canada-USA border at Art Park in Lewiston, New York. Art Park is a state park overlooking the Niagara River Gorge. There were live shows in the open-air theater, art installations, and hands-on arts and crafts, which the girls loved. Now, the only time we visit the falls is when we take out-of-town guests for the Niagara experience, or when we drive by the Festival of Lights in December. This is Niagara Falls in winter, deep frozen. And the twigs, the branches on which the moisture freezes, create such beautiful, beautiful sights, like diamond necklaces, some of them, when you see the drops across the wires, frozen, sparkling in the light. Very beautiful. I witnessed this beautiful sunrise on Lake Ontario from my daughter's home in Toronto. This is a wonderful world. And our corner of the world right here in North America is the best home of all. Thank you for accompanying me on this trip. Thank you, Carly, for your help and support. Happy trails, everyone.
Welcome. Today's webinar will be on virtual travel tours. So, do you miss traveling? There are many websites that you can use that can take you on free or paid virtual tours to different destinations around the world. You can visit famous international landmarks from the comfort of your own home. Today we'll be featuring two websites, HeyGo and Girl Travel Tours. So HeyGo. What is HeyGo? HeyGo is a free, non-profit website where you can enjoy a brief virtual vacation. It's a travel-specific live streaming platform where you can explore many popular attractions in different cities like Paris, London, Dubai, Mexico City, and much more. Origins. So the co-founders, Liam and John, created HeyGo in 2020 as a way to keep exploring new places, even though it was locked down in quarantine. It allows those for whom international travel is less accessible to have exciting, diverse experiences from no matter where they are. All you need is a tech device like a computer, a smartphone, or a tablet. HeyGo allows local guides to share their homes with the hope that it can bring people around the world closer together. Some benefits of HeyGo are that tours are offered in every continent with more than 300 cities across the world. It's really easy to create an account and you can start exploring for free. You can book a local tour guide for a particular time period for a virtual tour, or you can log on at any time and see what's upcoming. Some of the categories include history, art and architecture, special events, food, museums, and much more. Drawbacks. Some of the drawbacks of using HeyGo are that you need an internet connection to be able to use it. The tours are live streamed, so you need to join in at the specific time and the date that they take place in, or you won't be able to see them in the future, since the tours aren't recorded. So you can only see them once and then they're done. How to create an account. So in order to go on exciting tours with HeyGo, you have to first create a free account. So go to the website www.heygo.com/home. Click on the sign up button in the top right corner. Put in your email, put in your first name, your last name, and you can create a password. Check the agree to terms and services box, preferably after actually reading the terms and services, as nobody does, and then click create an account. And now you're ready to start looking for tours. Navigating the website. So the magnifying glass icon on the top of your screen lets you search for specific places or keywords. The locations button lets you browse all available tour locations by continent, country, and city. Categories categorizes tours into areas of interest like gardens, shopping, and well-being. And calendar categorizes tours by date and time. The icon in the top right corner, account information, and in the account information place, you can see your upcoming trips. You can alter account settings. You can see your digital postcards from past tours, and you can log out of your account. How to find a tour. Once you're signed up or you're logged in, click on the Explore Tours on the homepage. Scroll down through available upcoming tours. Every tour has a description that lets you know what to expect, along with dates and times to choose from. Uh, Most tours say free to join and then tip supported, which means that tipping is customary and highly encouraged. How to find a tour. Click Book next to the date and time that works for you. The button will turn blue and then it'll say Booked. Click Go to My Trips in the top left corner on the homepage, I believe, to see details about your upcoming tour. To start your tour. At the designated time and date that you booked the tour for, click Join Now, which is the top button on the picture to the right. You'll need a Wi-Fi connection, and the best viewing experience is on a computer using Google Chrome. You can click Share Now to invite friends to the tour, and you can also click Cancel to cancel your booking. What to expect? HeyGo virtual tours are live streamed, which means you won't be able to go backwards, pause, or fast forward. You also won't be able to communicate with the tour guide, and they won't be able to see or hear you, but you are able to join the chat to write messages that can be seen by other tour participants. During the tour, you can snap a postcard picture by clicking the postcard button, and it'll be saved to your postcards in your account, and you can go back and look at them whenever you like. At any time, you can press the Leave a Tip button in the bottom left corner to tip your tour guide. The postcard option is the top icon in the red box. It has a camera on it. Next, we'll be moving on to girl travel tours. So, what is girl travel tours? Girl travel tours, also known as getaway travel tours, is a travel platform that offers both physical and virtual international tours. The physical tours are in three categories: girl tours, adult only tours, and family friendly tours. The soonest upcoming in person one will be offered in 2021, which is this year, so sometime soon. For the virtual tours, you can browse through the scheduled tours, or you can book a private one for your group. You can explore pre recorded tours in 60 different regions. Origins. Girl Travel Tours was originally created to host educational, service learning trips for girls and their families and friends to develop leadership skills and work on sustainable development projects around the world. During COVID-19, the website started offering virtual tours that people of all ages can enjoy from their own homes. Benefits. No account creation is necessary to book any tours. They have an easy and free virtual tour registration process. They also have a collection of recorded virtual tours that you can watch at any time you want. You can access and view photo albums of different locations across the world, and it has options for planning an in-person trip if that's something that you're more interested versus a virtual one. Some of the drawbacks are that it has a much smaller selection of virtual tours than HeyGo, and live tours are also hosted much less frequently than HeyGo. How to find a virtual tour. Go to the website www.girltraveltours.com. Click on the virtual tours option in the green bar. Click on an upcoming virtual tour that you want to participate in. And then you can fill in the registration information. And after you register, you'll receive a confirmation email with the information to join. What to expect? The virtual tours take place webinar style over Zoom. You can keep your camera on or off, it doesn't really matter, but you're expected to keep yourself muted during the tour unless told otherwise. The tours are free, but tipping is appreciated. So after the tour, you can click Leave a Tip on the main website and then enter in your payment details. So some alternate virtual tour websites are the China Guide, Airpano, UVisit, and Acropolis. virtual tour. Now we're going to do the live demo. Okay, so today's live demo is going to be on the HeyGo website. So over here is the sign up option, this white button. And if we click it, you can create your free account. So these are the 3 steps that you'll need, um, which is the email address, and then I think it was the name, and then making a password. But since we already have an account for this, I'm just gonna go to the login option, which is the furthest top right option to click on. And if you do that, you can log in with your email address. After you log in, this is the menu that you'll see. Up here are the search options if we click the magnifying glass, locations, categories, and calendar, and then this is your account where you can see your trips, your profile, your postcards, and then the logout option. Here are some of the live now and starting soon trips that are currently happening. So if you just want to jump into one, you can just click on it, and then you'll be taken to a menu that says this. Down here in the bottom left, there's a button that says leave a tip for if you want to leave a tip for the tour guide. Isn't necessary, but it's well appreciated because these are all free. You can join the chat over here, but I'm not sure what to write, so I just won't say anything. But you can press that to join. If you want to take a postcard, this is the option up here. I think I have to join it to take the postcard pictures, but we can, yeah. And then, yeah, we'll go back. In order to, you can, so say you wanted to find tours specifically in France, you could use the search option and then you can type in France, then hit the search. And then these are all of the tours in France that they have, if it'll load. Yep. These 2 are coming soon tours of Bordeaux, and then, Brittany North. If you scroll down, there's more places in France that you'll see them. And if you want to book one, you can click on it. And then, since right now the guide person doesn't have any tours for this place, since they don't have any times, you can press the turn on notifications button if you want to be notified whenever there are tours for this place. I think they'll be by email. Um, if we go to categories, you can see that there are specific categories. There's some the limited time Halloween one because that's coming up soon. There's history, art and architecture, earth, seasonal events, popular destinations. If you click on one, it'll take you to that place. And then if you scroll down, you'll see the tours. This blue thing at the top here says starts in 50 minutes. So that's how you know that this tour of Jasper National Park will be starting in 50 minutes. And since this one actually has a time, you could click on it, and then there's this blue button that literally says book. So if you press the book button, you'll have booked it, and then this is the booking confirmation. It means that you've booked this tour, and yeah. If you go back to the main page, you can press this go to my trips option in the left side, which will take you to all of the trips that you've done before and have upcoming. So as we see just seconds ago, we booked the Jasper National Park one, and we can click on this to take us to how to join the tour later. This button is the join now button, as we see. This one is the share one if you want to share it with 3 other people. And then if you want to cancel it, you can just press this bottom button down here that says cancel. and it'll give you a green thing that says booking has been canceled. If you don't really know what you want to go on a trip for, but you just know that you want to go on one, you can press the tour calendar button down here, which is this one on the left side, or you can press the calendar at the top right. They both take you to the same place. And then it'll give you a list of all of the tours that are happening. So there's these two that are currently going on right now as they say join. And then you can see the times on the left hand side. The first one was 3:45 p.m. I think those times are calculated in Eastern Standard. And then if you scroll down, these are the ones that haven't started yet. So if you want to join this 5 o'clock tour for the pre-incantomes, you can press the book button on the right hand side and then it'll book it for you. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you for listening. If you like to learn this with another Cyber Seniors mentor, again, you can go to cyberseniors.org or you can call the phone number that is on the screen to register for a one-on-one phone session. We also hold weekly tech drop-in sessions from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays whenever you want to just drop in and ask tech questions, which is kind of cool.